DLS Wave. We are back
again.
Yeah.
All right. So today what we have now is another African country that is pretty much giving a middle finger to the West. We've known this man for a very long time. He's been in like power for like, oh my goodness, probably since what, the 80s? We're talking about Yoweri. What's the name? How do you say it? The Ugandan president.
Yoweri Museveni.
Yeah, Yoweri. His name is always kind of like difficult for me to. I know it's Museveni, but the first one I never really get it right. So, guys, we're gonna dig into why he has made the move to join the BRICS officially. We knew he had the intention, but it was not official. But it's official now. So, officially, Uganda is part of the BRICS. Now, if you've been watching us, if you've seen a few of our videos, kindly subscribe so we can bring more to you guys. Also, if other channels can do it, we can do it too. Follow us, subscribe. If we're able to succeed, we buy the big house in the Bahamas. We're gonna invite all of you guys for a big party, except probably Mr. S. He doesn't like parties. He's over 50 years old, so he likes to stay home by himself.
He
take
likes
care of the
peace and
grandkids.
quiet.
Take care of the grandkids, you know. All right, so DLS, we're about to get into things. It's gonna get hot today. All right, so we're back. So officially, Uganda, our neighboring country, not immediate, but on the east side of Africa, they've joined BRICS. Now, all eyes are on other countries in the African continent. Who is going to be next to join? Now, officially or regionally, BRICS is made up of B. I'm going to put you guys to the test. B, for which country? Mr. S. BRICS. Uh-oh.
Brazil.
All right, Brazil. All right, let's go to Mr. L. R.
China.
Oh, it's
R,
not
you mean
China.
R.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
R is Russia.
Brazil, Russia.
Okay, let's see
India.
Mr. S showing his prowess on the geopolitical state. All right, Mr. S.
Yeah.
I
just said it. India.
C.
China.
And then S.
Zabrota.
South Africa. South Africa.
Yeah, that's South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah, so initially started with these 5 nations, but now it's more like BRICS plus because there's a lot more countries joining the BRICS.
They might as well just call it BRICS.
Exactly, right? So it's BRICS plus. So let's go to Museveni, Eastern African president. So he's made the move, and some people are saying that as a good thing, a good move. Some people are saying, it's not that great. BRICS is new; they're not really quite, they haven't gained strong grounds yet. So for now, Uganda is going to stagnate for a while until BRICS gets its real footing before they can see, any progress or any sort of like real collaboration coming through this new organization they're creating. So yeah. Mr. S, what do you think? Good move, or something that you think is gonna really affect Uganda for a short term before BRICS can get its footing and they get to benefit or reap the benefit from the organization?
Every decision comes with a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and already, if you look at the position of the country, then they tie up already.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Oh,
but
yeah,
joining
Uganda,
BRICS, yes, joining BRICS for me is strategic. And it's key. I tell you why. When you look at the world, right, globally, right, BRICS bring about 37% of the world GDP. So they are not doing quite. They are doing quite good with the number, like the countries involved. They are doing quite well. If you compare that to the G7 only bring 30%. So that means BRICS is ahead. Right, so the more countries that join, and you look at the countries that have formed the BRICS. If you take the Brazil, the India, the China's, and then the Russia, especially China, when it comes to infrastructure and everything, that is what I wish my country would do. So I want to be part of a group that has that mindset. So I think it's the right step. It is the right step. That's all I can say.
All right, Mr. L.
Well, I think, S has said it all already. I'll just also say that I think it's a good thing because let me take it this way, from this angle. we all have the United Nations, right, which was supposed to be the world body to take care of world affairs.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, years back, we had countries, so-called affluent countries, creating their own sort of group. They had a G7, G whatever, G this, and left the whole world out, right? So if another part of the world that thinks that they've been left out of the party, think they want to create their own group and then roll people in, no one should have a cause to complain. And I think it's the onus lies on any country to join at will. So I think that it might come to the benefit of Uganda, because at the end of the day, they've been shunned anyway. So why not? You might as well just join somewhere where you can have a strong footing.
Yeah, I think the backstory, though, people got to understand the context of them joining BRICS. I think it's from Museveni's been in power for how long? I'm not quite sure, but it's probably like decades, right? If I'm not wrong,
Like
decades.
I'm guessing around 40 years.
Before some of us were born.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I think the older he gets, the more cynical he gets, of the West, because I feel like he thinks they've been making promises and imposing a lot of stuff on their country, but they don't see real progress. And he thinks, I mean, going back to this, you know how it is, LGBTQ thing. They threw it out into the parliament, and they had a discussion, and there were votes that said it's gonna be criminalized, right? So any activity of that sort, you kind of get a jail term for that. And the West did not see that as a positive thing. So I think the IMF or the World Bank sanctioned them, denying them of any sort of funding or loans or aid or whatever that word might be. So then I think Museveni got a bit agitated, and it was like, yo, you cannot impose these kind of things on us. It's not even him saying it. It's like, this is a cultural thing. Myself, my people, nobody wants this for us. So this is what the law is going to be. We have the right to decide what we want to decide for our people. So that brought a bit of friction between the World Bank, which is literally the West, and Uganda. And then on top of that, there was another thing. I think even Ghana goes to the same thing about this second-hand clothing, right? This dumping of second-hand clothing. So Museveni said the same thing. It's like, he feels like they can do better than that, because it's like he doesn't understand why the West keeps dumping, all these used clothing into Africa. But the worst part of it is like, all these people who bring the second-hand clothing, making it look like it's charity, it's like, for goodwill. They actually get them free in the States, right? People donate them, but then when they come to Africa, they use them for business. They sell them to the locals and make good money off of it. So he saw all this and he's like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Find somewhere for your trash, find somewhere for your garbage. Again, it kind of like, wrap people in the West the wrong way, and then more sanctions. So I guess all these things culminated to this very decision. He's like, okay, if you guys do not respect us, our autonomy, our democracy, our way of doing things, then we might as well find alternative partners. So this is what happened, and I think they're seeking new partners. But my only concern is for the ordinary person, right, who probably has been getting some of this aid and loans from the World Bank. It's going to affect them. But the question, is it going to be long-term or short-term? Because BRICS, right now, they're not really as strong as they're supposed to be. You know what I mean, right? So in this instance, Mr. S, do you think the average person, it serves them or it benefits them that Uganda joined BRICS? Politically, it might look like the right move, but on the ground, in terms of economics.
Actually, a decision like this, you can only tell with time. You can only tell with time. But you have to look at an organization, and you ask yourself, do I really fit in as a country? If you are going with that, okay, what do they have on board? I think they are smart enough. They've looked at all the increases and whatever involved in signing those deals, that deal, and they're like, okay, I feel if I join this particular group, I stand a better chance of developing. Not in the long term, right? In the long term, we will develop. Because if you look at the countries that wants to join or are in the line to join, they are huge countries. Well, if you look at them, just by what you see, you might think, but they have resources that they are joining. And for example, China, right? The president said, I quote him, and friends of BRICS, let us use this project to further connect the global south. Right? So they have a certain aim. That's why I said earlier in my first submission that you have to look at the countries involved and what they are doing for their countries, and how some years ago they were shunned, they were looked down upon, and what you're doing. Then if I join them, I know it will take time, but I'll get my fair share of the cake. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good point made. But Mr. L, do you think Museveni took this route just to spite the West, or was it as strategic as Mr. S is trying to make it look? Like he thought about it, he thinks this is a good fit, this is going to benefit his country, or he's just doing this because the West, quote unquote, shunned him?
I think he in particular, we have seen time and again how he has made comments spiting the West, disagreeing with most of their opinions and policies and all that. So we don't know what's in his mind, but so in a way we can say yes, he's doing that to spite the West, but also maybe not just that, he also maybe feels that he has to make real genuine connections with a new world order so that his country doesn't get left behind, because maybe he realizes that he's come to the point where he can't completely rely on the West anymore due to all the geopolitics and the dynamics of what is happening in the world now. And so he wants to find a place where he can secure his country for the foreseeable future. So I think it's a bit of both. So in summary, judging from his previous comments and behavior, maybe we can suggest that he's doing that to spite the West in a way, but also moving forward, he wants to anchor his country to a strong pillar that is maybe, if you like, future-proof.
Yeah. All right, Mr. S, I mean, the ultimate question, do you think a country like Ghana should join the BRICS?
It's a yes for me. It's a yes. The reason is simple. Again, look at the countries involved. When you take Russia, when it comes to military stuff, they are there. If you take China, look at their infrastructure, look at the size of the country, and look at what they've done, right? If you look at India, there's so many examples there we can learn from and pick little things from and add to our little country with all the resources, and we can develop. But like I said, it will take time. Right? It will definitely take time. But I prefer Ghana joining this group than joining some AE group and some other groups without any better outcome. And the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, Mr. L, the same thing. If example, if there was a choice for Ghana to choose, right, to go with BRICS or to stay with the usual, what you call it, gang, which do you think would be suitable for Ghana? Because I mean, do not forget, we gained independence since 1957, and we haven't really seen any remarkable progress. I mean, we all come from then. We can attest to that there hasn't been any remarkable progress being made. So, if there was a choice, do you think Ghana should join BRICS or stay with, the usual suspects?
I think in such a decision, every government has to be careful and strategic. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I'm guessing with a higher percentage that maybe Ghana has been approached behind the scenes, because when you talk about Africa, Ghana is a big player. Nobody can deny that. You mentioned 10 African countries, most important countries. Ghana is one of them. But I think maybe Ghana has not made a move yet because we still have a lot of interests and support from the West, and that's a fact. I mean, look at things like even AGOA, Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, that was cancelled recently by President Trump, which means that countries can no more export their, especially agricultural products, to the U.S. Tax-free and all that, tariff-free. So looking at some of the things that we are already benefiting from the West, it's kind of a hard decision to make. But I think that if the US or other countries in the West will continue to take away, to strip away some of these benefits that Africa is getting due to the collaboration or the relationship we have with the West, then I think it will be very easy for any country to decide to join the BRICS. Because don't forget, once you join BRICS, you automatically become on the other side. I mean, you automatically become not an enemy. I don't want to say an enemy, but you automatically sever that sort of relationship between you and the West, right? It's like you're moving away. So I think yes, right now maybe it's hard to say that Ghana should rush into to accept it, because maybe there's a lot at stake. That's why we haven't done that. But like I said, if we will keep losing some of the benefits that we have in terms of the relationship we have with the West, then I think when we get to a point that we see that we don't benefit anymore, it'll be very easy to make that switch. But I think the reason why Ghana shouldn't join right now is, we all know we still have a lot of benefit from the West. So that's my opinion.
Look, I think they welcome about 13 countries, right, or partners, right?
Yeah.
Vietnam, Algeria, Belarus, Bolivia, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Turkey, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Uganda, and Uzbekistan, right?
Uzbekistan.
Yeah. So, there are countries willing to join, right? And for me, I also feel it's not in a rush, but it's better late than never, because the way it's going, and if you look at their GDP contribution to the world, it means that they can only go up, right? So for me, if it is put to me as a Ghanaian president, yes, I know we do get a lot of benefits from those other organizations, but I would like to join.
Yeah,
that's my.
Can I just throw this in real quick? So I think that eventually I think many countries, including many African countries, are going to apply to join, or are going to be invited to join. But I think I just don't want it to be that same case where we have seen for centuries, where the bigger countries within BRICS, like Russia, China, Brazil, and the others, will still be benefiting off Africa. You know what I mean? I think if whatever agreements they have, whatever relationships they have, if it will be done at a level playing field, where I can export to your country easily, you can export to mine easily, that's fine for me. But where they will swoop everybody in, they coax you in, and then later they start dumping products in your country, just using your market as a way to market their products. That one I'll have a problem with. So that's
but this is where strong leadership comes in.
Exactly. Because that's why I think that the African countries that are joining, think of Vietnam, which is developing, India, and all these countries. They're already industrializing, or industrialized at some point. But Africa's, I don't know what our percentage is. Industrialization level is very low. So if we don't, our leaders, like you're saying, if they just go and join for the sake of joining without thinking about how the country can actually benefit from this bloc, then there's no point. Because what's going to happen is these same countries, China, Russia, Vietnam, they're just going to produce their stuff and use Africa as the market. And that is why I think that any country that's willing to join from Africa should be willing to pull the bull by the horns and say, no, it's not going to be like that. If I'm exporting tomatoes to your country, I mean, if I'm importing bananas from your country, I should be able to export tomatoes in your country. I don't want to hear anything about low quality, this and that. No, that shouldn't come into play. So I think that should be a matter of concern.
Yeah, that's when you mentioned...
Sorry. When I said I would join, I'm talking from me being the president, right? Because for me, I know Steve Biko and Thomas Sankara put together. So my name is Steve Sankara. I have that mindset. I don't. Stop it! It's not nice.
This guy becomes president. We're all effed. Anyways, let's wrap it up. Yeah, when Mr. L mentioned the AGOA thing, that was one of the very, like, the the tip of the iceberg. That was one of the things that ticked off Museveni, and it was like, F it, because they scrapped that framework, which means they're not really going to be able to, like you mentioned, export stuff, or they've been, hit with like really huge tariffs, and it makes it very difficult to export stuff. So, yeah, these are the things that culminated to make him take that decision. But I just hope that, like you rightfully mentioned, it's going to be a framework that benefits every single country, like, a level playing field that everybody has to say, nobody dictates to the other, and it's like, everything they do is beneficial to, like, other players involved. So, till we see, the BRICS really taking shape. I mean, right now the momentum is there, the potential looks really great, but the outcome is what we were hoping to see. How many countries are going to join? How are they really going to function? How is it going to operate? Is it going to be any different from what, for the past whatever hundreds of years we've seen the West do? As they come up with the policies and then just impose it on other smaller countries. So it's going to be a fair playing field for all voices to be heard. So until then, we
For
just
now,
have to wait.
Don't go.
and
For now, it looks
see.
like a fair. For now, it looks like a fair playing field.
That's what I'm saying. For now, we don't
with
really
the
know what's
list,
going to
yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. Like, when other smaller countries join, it becomes like 100 countries or more. We don't know. So till then, we're going to leave it to you guys. Do you guys think more African countries should be joining the BRICS? Is it too early? Is it too late? Or is it just the right and perfect moment to join BRICS? Leave your comments down below. Tell us why you think your country should join it and what your expectations are from joining the BRICS. So to the next episode, DLS out.